Welcome back, viewers. If you are just joining us, this is still New Dawn. And right about now, we're going to go into the meat of the discussion. Drug abuse, its implications, rehabilitations based on the causes or the effects they have had on the Nigerian people. And with us to unpack this critical issue is a NAFDAC giant. He is the director for NAFDAC Southeast, and he is here in person. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome pharmacist Martins Iluyomade.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
I hope we did not mother your
No,
name.
you mentioned it well.
Iluyomade.
Iluyomade.
Iluyomade. Wonderful.
Yes.
So could you
The
just
city-
tell us what it means? Because
Yes,
it sounds really deep.
Yes, it means the city rejoice with the head. That means the crown.
The
You know,
crown.
in those days, it's the king that heads cities and all of that town. So it's like a king that is reigning and the people are happy.
That is if the king is a good king.
Yeah, sure. The king is a good king.
You're
King is a
welcome.
good king.
You're
Thank you.
welcome so much, sir.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Director NAFDAC Southeast.
Yes.
How has it been since you took up this position? What are the things you have enjoyed about the job? What are the things that have been challenging about this job so far?
Before taking up the job, I know it's going to be challenging coming to the Southeast. We know that most of the drugs being produced in this country either being imported or sold. 80% of them, the business is around the Easterners.
Now, when you say 80%, hold
Yeah.
that thought. Is it statistically proven or just from on top of your head?
Statistically proven. Proven. Drug business is more of for the people of the Igbo extraction. Either they are in Lagos or they are here, or they have companies in different places. They are the major people, major player in that space. So coming to the Southeast, I know that I have to up my game because the challenge will be there. I got in there October last year.
Okay.
October 2023. I had stakeholders meeting immediately. The very week I got in, I arranged a stakeholders meeting with everybody so that we can set the ball rolling. And I've made my agenda clear. I am here to sanitize the system, to make sure it is good for all of us, and to make sure that the drugs that everybody take, every Nigerian, you wake up, you sleep, you walk into any pharmacy and buy any drug, you know that it's going to work for you. I made that very clear that was the essence of my coming, and I also said that I know that a lot of people who are doing the wrong things. If you have the knowledge to do the wrong thing, you can do the right thing. So it's just to push you to do the right thing from the knowledge you already acquired. So those are the major thoughts I came with, and since I came in, it's been quite challenging. My first point of call was Aba. That's they call it cemetery market,
Okay.
where we got intel that something has been going there for over 20 years. People manufacturing fake drinks and all of that. We had to move in decisively and dislodge them. They were shocked because it's not been done before. That place seems to be that they are 40. Nobody comes in there. No government agency comes in there. So they build the place like a cartel sort of a thing, and then over 200 people, not 200 people, over 200 manufacturing factories in a place.
Beverages.
Beverages. There's no kind of beverage you don't see that. None. No, there's any word you want to mention is they manufacture there. So we were able to do that in December last year. And so I know it's going to be challenging. So we came back from that, and we've taken up in Faces, other places. We taken up the different sectors because our mandate is quite wide. We safeguard the health of the nation. So basically everything we take in and everything we use for ourselves we regulate it to make sure that it's conformed to the health standard that it should be to help everybody. So the mandate is wide, and we have so many things to cover. So I move into another sector, and we're moving on that. Recently, we went to BT2 to also do another kind of raid and all of that. So it's been challenging. I've never had maybe a day of rest since I got to the Southeast.
Okay, talking about the healthcare system, Mr. Martins, to what extent will you say that these fake drugs endanger the lives of Nigerian citizens?
To a very great extent. It's so bad that I was speaking with a commissioner. I won't mention his name, and he said, "You know, Martins, any of my drugs I buy, I order them from Saudi Arabia." I said, "What? Even if you want to buy paracetamol, you order from Saudi Arabia? No, we cannot continue like this." So, what we are doing is to make sure that people have trust in the system. Now, when any drug you are picking and you are using is going to work for you. The extent that has endangered us has been much, because we've seen failures of treatment. Doctors recommend drugs, and infant mortality. You give
All the
patient, you give patient medicine, and you think, okay, that's what will cure the disease, and then the thing end up failing. So that is scary. But let me quickly say that all over the world, there are syndicates all over the world, not only Nigeria. Nigeria is not an exception. There are fake drugs all over the world. But it's just to make sure we limit the percentage in circulation. And the current management of NAFDAC, led by Professor Adeyeye, has done a tremendous good job trying to... There are so many things we put in place to make sure that we mitigate that. So the statistics are good, but we still have a lot of bad elements.
Can you just take us through an overview of some of this, things that have been put in place to ensure that you bring down the numbers? Just an overview.
An overview. Okay, so when Professor Adeyeye came, one of the first things she did was that we were out of the port when she came. NAFDAC was out of the port. So she fought to take us back to the port.
When you say out of the port,
Nigerian
what exactly
port.
do you mean?
Yes, the ports.
The ports.
Yes, where imported drugs are coming in. So we move in there, and so within a year of moving in there, we're able to confiscate over 200 containers of
fake drugs.
Yes, of fake drugs. So that was one of the first moves she did, and that was quite exceptional. Many of them were destroyed, I think, sometimes last year, and then upper year. We go for destruction exercises. You see all the things that we do. So that was one of the first things she did, moving NAFDAC back into the port, and that has given us a lot of leverage, at least to intercept the thing at the point of coming in. The second thing she did, she went to India and made an agreement, because I also want to tell you that more than 70% of the drugs we consume in this country come from the Asian countries.
Yeah.
India, China, but India has the highest. So
it would be safe to say Nigeria manufactures a little over 20%?
Yes, but the numbers are increasing now. I'll get there.
Okay.
Yes, the numbers are increasing because of the things she has put in place. So we have something critical, she went to make an agreement with them in India. So before you bring in any drug to Nigeria, it will be tested there. And the results, we call it pre-shipment testing, the result will be sent
transmitted
to us before the shipment leaves
the port.
India, yes.
Okay.
And that's, you know how many containers that we prevented from coming at all. So instead of intercepting them, you stop it from even the point of loading, which has never been done before. So that reduced significantly also the number of fake drugs coming in into the country. She also had gone ahead to make what we call make NAFDAC move to ML3, that's maturity level 3, which categorizes us as one of the best regulatory agencies in that category in the world.
In the world?
I'm telling you, we're in that category. I think in Africa, we are the second or third in the whole of Africa. So she's done tremendous job getting that. So the advantage that confers on us is that we can compare notes with other developed nations, regulatory practices, and then anything that is coming from those places, we can compare notes. Before we are standing alone and all of that. So right now we are on that space. And thirdly, that Marshall the three came with an agenda she has, which is good for the country, that we should increase local manufacturing. Okay. And so because we are now on ML3, we now have direct access to regulate the local manufacturing space, let them bring them up to standard, because our people have the knowledge. We just need one or two standards to be put in place too. And so many of the local manufacturing companies are benefiting from this. We have seen, because we are ML3, so whatever we stamp that is okay is accepted all over the world. So now it's good business for local manufacturing companies. Though the conditions are need to be more stringent because you need to up your game to come up to that standard. And a few companies, last year, 2 years ago, got WHO pre-qualification. The meaning of that, in Nigeria, it doesn't happen. And the meaning of that, so many of these things, people don't know all the things that are going on. The meaning of that is that WHO can purchase drugs from Nigeria.
The Nigerian market?
Yes, from that company. Any company that has WHO pre-qualification, you can purchase drugs from that company.
Hold that thought. How does this have any direct impact on the, health, well-being and health of the average Nigerian?
Simple. The direct impact of this is that, so any drug that is being manufactured now is up to the standard that you can compare with any other country all over the world. And so it means that the quality of drugs being produced by our local manufacturers can compare with anywhere in the world. So the meaning of that is that so we can have more qualitative medicines being produced within the country that will meet our health needs. That reduces, number one, it brings the prices down because you don't have to import the drugs and all of that. So that's easy access to medical care for our people. So I'm telling you how that
works.
That's impact directly on Nigeria. So that means you can get quality, affordable medicines that within your doorstep that you can use for your treatment and ailment, and it will work. In fact, what we are looking at is that we should be able to get to a point where we have more than 50% of all our medical supplies being manufactured here. We're going to create jobs for our people. We're going to increase expertise for our people. We're going to get more people to be able to do the work that we want them to do. And then we're able to increase that space. Right now in Africa, Nigeria, I can tell you very well that right now in Africa, Nigeria has the highest pharma manufacturing industries in Africa. And we are still building that. So that impacts on us because we can get some countries from Asia come to Nigeria to come and buy their medicines.
Okay, Mr. Iluyemade, talking about regulations, we've actually mentioned a series of regulation processes now. Yeah. We want to see, looking at the regulation processes, what will you say are the causes of this fake drugs production, especially with local producers?
Fake drug production with local producers? Yes. I will say that at the root of every problem we can trace in this country, can trace the root to economy, people looking for what they can eat, and then what's the best way I can do, what do I know how to do. That's number one root, of course. The second one is people look for avenue to cut corners, you know you're supposed to put 500 mg of active ingredient into something, but so that you can make more gain, you reduce it to maybe 200 or something, causing problem for people, but you label it 500 milligrams. So those are, so basically it's for economic gain, but I will tell you that most of the fake drugs we talk about, most of it are not from local manufacturers, most.
Could you throw more light on that?
Most of the fake drugs in circulation in this country are not from local manufacturers. I can say that, most of it. I'm not saying that there are not some that are, but the local manufacturers do not have the capacity to do so much in bulk, like somebody can bring in just 10 containers or 50 containers and release to the market at the same time. They are in small pockets and all of that. And so the ones that we're already regulating knows the implication of doing substandard medicine because they are within us. They are in Nigeria. We can easily go. And I was part of a team that quickly, we do something now, unannounced visits to all our local manufacturers. And that's why we wanted more people to manufacture within the country, so for easy monitoring. We do unannounced visits. I'm aware of that. As a director, I know how many unannounced visits we've done in the Southeast to all the manufacturers. So I can tell you that the ones we found wanting, I know at least 2 or 3 manufacturing companies, drug manufacturing companies in the Southeast were shut down. I'm aware of that. So, but the majority of it find their way into the country through our porous waters and all of that.
So how do we control this issue of them bringing in fake drugs into the country?
Yeah, that's what I told you, that the steps that DG, NAFDAC are taking with the management, controlling from source. But, you know, criminality, once there is gain in something, the criminality around it will not stop. People will still dare to do more, want to try their way. So people try to reroute their products and move it through from those companies to another country and then coming in and all of that. So, but we have stop gaps in each of those places. If we cannot stop you from the point of origin where you're supposed to load it from, we will stop you at the port. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's like a value chain.
A value chain.
Okay.
So you cannot stop you from not coming in. We'll stop you from port.
Pathways.
Yes. If we don't stop you from port, we'll stop you in the market.
Okay, hold that thought.
Thank you.
You mentioned earlier that your mandate is quite wide, which means it covers hard drug abuse too.
Yes.
Are we right to say it covers hard drugs and the abuse of it? Because I call to memory, I've forgotten the name now, the scientific name, but in local parlance, it was called Murumiri. That's meth, right? Now, can you take us through the value chain of meth? How exactly did that, substance find its way through the Nigerian borders, into the Nigerian state, found itself, well organized and distributed? How did that really happen? How did it get to the tout on the street and the bus conductor and the students and so many other people that, had to take that drug? How did it happen?
The question I will ask is, how did we get here? How did we get here? As a nation, how did we get here? I'm a little bit saddened because while we were growing up, these things were not this rampant. Children can, but now I hear that even secondary school takes all of these things. So how did we get here? Now, first, let me make 1 or 2 clarifications. When it comes to hard drugs, that is the mandate of NDLEA. We take care of normal drugs. So we leave
What do you
them
mean by normal drugs?
Yes, normal drug that is used for treatment of ailment and diseases. And I'm just trying to talk in a very simple, I don't want to bring too many medical jargons here. So normal medicines that people take. So the issue of hard drugs, we have different categories.
Okay.
They are controlled. So we take care of part of the controlled drugs, and NDLA takes a major part. So this methamphetamine you are talking about is actually a hard drug, is a precursor for manufacture of cocaine and all of that. It's a precursor, and it's a drug cartel that is handled by a cartel, drug cartel. So they don't produce it for use for maybe health benefit or anything. It's just for you to be high. It's drug as in drug. And that's under actually NDLA. But I'll just explain a few things around that, and I think NDLA will do a better job at that. You asked a question, how do these things get in?
Yes. Then another thing, NAFDAC, how do they certify, or they do not certify?
We do not. Let me clarify. We do not certify methamphetamine.
Okay.
We do not certify Nkurumiri. We don't. It's within.
Keep going.
It's not within our. It's not within our jurisdiction.
But keep going,
But
because
no,
you are educating people.
Yes. So we do not certify Nkurumiri, and no government agency will certify Nkurumiri. It's hard drug. It's just like asking us if we certify cocaine.
Yeah.
You cannot get that number on cocaine, so we do not certify that. At the beginning, this thing started like a child's play. Bring it in different names. Smuggling, like I mentioned to you.
Yeah.
Nigeria is one of the highest level of porous borders in the world, because we share border with how many countries? Land borders. So how many of you are we going to police and all of that? So we have that issue. But to be serious about Nkurumiri, it has gotten to a stage where people now are setting up labs, clandestine labs in the country, manufacturing it. I'm aware, as of 3 days ago, NDLA busted a major drug cartel somewhere in Imo State. He has a factory in Imo. He has another one in Port Harcourt. So NDLA is doing a good job at that, I can tell you.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of clandestine factories now. So it's not only just being imported. What I'm telling you is that now people are setting up labs here, manufacturing it.
Okay, before we conclude, I wish you could go on and on. But before we conclude, yes, looking at these fake drugs peddlers, do you think that they are in collaboration probably with people in high authorities or, influential men from the society that are engaged in this peddling of drugs? That's one. Then secondly, as a NAFDAC director, aside drugs, there are other products that are being regulated in the market. Can you also enlighten us more about those products?
Okay, so 2 questions in one. Let me answer the first one. Chine. There is no vice you can see in the country, in any country, that brings economic gain to certain people, that those people will not want to liaise with some people in authority. None. Because you want to protect your interests, you want something, you want a backup. So that's just answering your first question.
Thank you very much.
Now, the second question about what are the other things? NAFDAC, we are created by law. We control the manufacture, exportation, sales, distribution of drug, food, cosmetics, packaged water, detergents, and everything in that value chain, chemicals. We have that. That's our mandate. So anything you can find with that value chain is under our purview.
Okay.
Okay, so other things in the market, if we have drinks in the market, it's under our purview. If you have food, it's under our purview. If you have drugs, if you have cosmetics, I know ladies do a lot with cosmetics. It's under our purview. So, so those are all the other things that are under our purview that we're also regulating the market.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid we just have to let you go. I wish I had a truckload, just like you guys will have truckload of confiscated. I have a truckload. I was actually hoping that we'll exhaust all, but our producers are saying that we'll have to go.
Okay.
But let's be assured that we're going to have you back, and then we'll have these questions exhausted. Thank you so much.
And hope you
Mrs. Martins, thank you so much.
I hope so. Thank you.
And there you have it, viewers. You know, you can go to sleep knowing that we have capable hands at the helm of affairs of NAFDAC Southeast. He just told us that at every point in time, they are working to see how they can break the value chain, meaning that if they don't get it at source, they get it intermediary, or they get it when it lands on Nigerian soil. So that is something to be hopeful for. So we go on a short break, and when we come back, we will listen to Vox Pop. That will be Voices of the People. Do stay with us.